So while it is accepted that we will risk our safety in a highly calculated manner to protect savable lives, we will also acknowledge there are times when we must deliver or use a more defensive tactic. In the fire service, we pride ourselves in having the right gear to do the job. In this scenario, the fire attack using ground monitors is being established to attack the fire from a safe distance. When firefighters are confronted with a large blaze, ground monitors and deck monitors mounted on the appliances are utilised. Both are capable of delivering large quantities of water for fighting large fires, and they're also used to protect adjacent buildings from being damaged by fire. On your left, firefighter Moore will ship a standpipe as firefighters Sabin and McCormick prepare the 90mm feeder hose that will supply water to the nearest appliance. Setting up the blue coloured ground monitors are firefighters Walters and Tongiawa closest to us, firefighters McLean and McMaster in the middle, and at the far end, firefighters Williams and Mayo. Together, these three monitors will deliver about 6,000 litres of water per minute onto the building. Sorry about the impromptu shower. The fire has been extinguished, so now the makeup can begin. Other skills that these firefighters have learnt but not on display today include personal safety and our safe person concept, compartment fire behaviour, simulated structure fire training, and both of these took place in the grey building opposite us. Pump operation, urban search and rescue techniques around Rotorua, vegetation firefighting, salvage and recovery, first aid and triage exercises, fire risk management and community education, a one-day marae visit with cultural awareness, fire extinguisher training, and a strong emphasis throughout the course relates to team building and working effectively within a team. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the demonstration of some of the skills that our newest firefighters developed over the last 12 weeks. Let's give our firefighters a big round of applause as they do their final drive-by. There have been aspects of this course that will be remembered for a long time by the recruits and the trainers. Ladies and gentlemen, Firefighter Oates will now address you on behalf of the recruits, giving you their perspective of the course.
Mr Baxter, Mr Mackey, Mr Pickard, Mr Cleater, Deputy Mayor of Rotorua, Mr Donaldson, area managers, assistant area managers, fire service staff, family and friends. My name is Craig Oates and it is my pleasure to give you a short insight into our time on the course. On the 10th of April at 5:30 in the afternoon, myself and 19 other individuals met in the lobby at the Ridges, full of enthusiasm, anxiety, excitement and nerves. What this motley bunch of individuals did not know was what the next 12 weeks was going to bring. The enthusiasm would turn to fun, the anxiety would turn to confidence, the excitement would sometimes turn to fear, and the nerves would turn to knowledge. We may have come from all different walks of life, tradies, stay-at-home parents, hospitality and tourism, personal training, and other community and government services, but we were all here to strive towards one common goal, to make our dream a reality. After a short time of shaking hands and trying to remember our new colleagues' names, we were greeted by a man that for the next 12 weeks would be known only as Mr Moon, one of our 4 main instructors. He briefed us on the next day and we all went back to our rooms to unpack our bags and ponder the significant achievement in getting this far. An achievement that involved being selected from hundreds of other people, fighting for this position and a journey that for many of us started months or even years ago. After a somewhat awkward dinner, it was time to settle in to what will be our home for the next 3 months. On the first morning, the 20 of us piled into the 2 fire service vans and headed off a short drive here to the National Training Centre, where we were introduced to the trainers and the facility. Over the first month, the main focus was on hose running and ladders. And in fact, looking back now, it felt like all we ever did was run out hose and put up ladders. Once we graduated from hoses and ladders, we moved on to motor vehicle accident, or MVA, and breathing apparatus, or BA, sections of this course. MVA was a welcome change of pace from a structured military style of teaching to a relaxed, hands-on style of learning. This included 3 days on the tools, cutting up cars in a range of different scenarios. The following week, however, the pace picked up and so did the temperature, as we spent a few days in the BA training building, a small, inconspicuous cream-coloured building over the back of the drill yard. Innocent looking on the outside, it shows a different side, however, when dark and heated up. It was more than enough to make even the Brown brothers go red. Getting into the last third of our course as a class, we'd well and truly gelled. Our families had been extended, and the comradeship that the fire service is so proud of had been allowed to flourish. Apart from our bed, our toothbrush, and sometimes our undies, everything else was shared. This strong comradeship was to be a huge help in the final chapter of our time here. This part involving some big team and personal challenges. The first of these was the live fire training in the building over here beside me. The first time for many of us seeing fire outside of the wood burner at home. It was a fantastic opportunity to get up close and personal with the nature and science of fire. Next came the infamous USAR course, a course where there were no apologies made for the rigours that we experienced. Day 1 started with most of the class sweating by about 8:15 a.m. This set the tone for the following 3 days. Only pure determination and teamwork would see the entire class complete the course. And sure enough, we did all finish the course, running down the final hill out of the redwoods, singing and sounding far too happy. Which, looking back now, must be why our instructors stayed in the car park and sent us running back up the hill, like dogs at a sheep trial, directed only by the echoing whistles. And here we all are, this motley bunch of individuals now united as one. I'm extremely proud to be speaking on behalf of such a fine group of people. I know that we have all put our heart and soul into this course, and I trust that it will continue well into our careers. We have shared some incredible highs and lows, supporting each other the whole way, whilst being separated from our families and loved ones being one of the lows. A significant high would be the way that we're accommodated by Dan and the team at the Ridges. They have taken care of our every need with the understanding of the importance of our recruit training. They have changed the way a lot of us operate, and it's going to take a bit of coaching for our partners to now realise we do things around the house a little bit differently now. For example, on Mondays and Thursdays, our bed sheets will need to be changed. In the morning, we require 2 options for dinner, plus the option of dessert. And if we leave our towel on the bathroom floor, the towel needs to be washed, dried, folded, and put back on the shelf by the time we get home from work. My wife didn't laugh at that one. Finally, I'd like to thank the trainers and staff behind the scenes for making this course as successful and beneficial as possible. We can only hope that as a group, we've stepped up to the challenge and came in at a standard you can be proud of. This is truly a world-class training facility, and the people involved should be extremely proud of what has been developed and the firefighters that it has produced. To the family and friends that have supported us over the last 12 weeks, thank you for being able to help us achieve our dream. This would not have been possible without your support from back home. It has been such a pleasure to meet so many of you, and I trust you will be extremely helpful in reintegrating your partners into a non-hotel style of life. To my new colleagues, it's been a great 12 weeks. It's now time to go home to our other family. I know that each and every one of you will be great firefighters and will serve your communities professionally and with pride and dedication. Thanks for ensuring I now have holiday homes all over New Zealand. And finally, to quote one of our trainers, it starts here. Thank you.
Once they leave here, each new firefighter will be assigned to a station. After a few days induction at their new stations, they will make up an operational crew, and they'll respond to incidents under the guidance of an experienced officer and senior firefighters. Each firefighter will be expected to perform their duties as part of a 4-person crew. The recruits course from which they have just graduated has provided our firefighters with the base level skills they need to operate effectively and safely within their crew. They will then enter into further training and ongoing educational programs to ensure that they maintain and enhance those skills. Eventually, they'll become eligible for promotion to the next rank. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the parade ground our firefighters from recruit course 1604. We still have some formalities to complete. At the conclusion of this ceremony, we invite everybody to join us here for afternoon tea and refreshments. This will be served in the appliance bay of the main building, down to your right. It is also a good time to meet the trainers and other staff members if you wish to do so. And it's also an opportune time for you to have a look around the complex with your new firefighter. I would like to invite our National Commander, Mr. Paul Baxter, to come forward and make an address.
Kia ora Paul. Ina iwi, ina reo, ina mana, ina karangatanga maha. O na hauiwa tina tamihi atu ki koutou katoa. Good afternoon everybody and welcome to our National Training Centre here in Rotorua. Could I please make a first couple of acknowledgements to our Director of Training, Wayne Mackey, to the National Training Centre Manager, Ian Pickard, to the National Training Centre training team. Welcome and congratulations on turning out a fine looking bunch of new graduates for our service, and to the National Training Centre support team, thanks for all your work behind the scenes. Thank you all, one and all, for joining us today, but particularly to the whānau of the people that are here to graduate. But finally, welcome to our new people in the organisation, our graduates. This ceremony marks the end of what's undoubtedly been a challenging 12 weeks, as they've been taught the theory and the practice of firefighting and emergency response, and how to safely apply those tools in a variety of situations. The career that they are about to embark on will be no less challenging, but it will be supremely rewarding. Graduates, today you inherit a proud legacy of a service that stretches back more than a century, to the very earliest chapters of New Zealand's history. We've come an awful long way since then, but one thing that hasn't changed since the day of brass helmets and axes is the commitment that every firefighter upholds to serve their community. That commitment is just as relevant today as it ever was. It's what drives the New Zealand Fire Service to continually adapt to the conditions around us so that we can continue the tradition to help those in need. And it's true that where there's smoke, there'll always be a firefighter, but the modern profession that you're about to enter is called upon today to do so much more. Today, firefighters in New Zealand can be found delivering fire prevention education in schools, providing enhanced emergency medical care in the community, or rescuing people trapped at the scene of motor vehicle crashes, or from the side of a cliff where high-angle line rescue is required. When our communities took to the Christchurch earthquakes, the Rena grounding, the Pike River mine disaster, or any large-scale weather event, communities will see us there. Beyond these shores in New Zealand, the Fire Service is represented internationally by our qualified urban search and rescue teams who provide rapid disaster relief alongside the national and international partners, most recently in Fiji for Cyclone Winston. These are just some of the many specialist roles that await all of you in the future, though distant now it may seem. You've put your all into this course, but that doesn't mean that your training ends here. The Fire Service offers a lifetime of learning and development, and quite rightly so, as no one incident response is the same, and the need to continually find new ways of reducing the risk of fire in our increasingly diverse communities will always challenge us. Safety is the first operating principle that guides our work, both for the people that we serve, but also for ourselves. It's a key consideration of everything that I do, and I expect the same from all of you. I want all of you to be able to go home at the end of your duty to your families, your whānau, your friends and your loved ones. Your trainers here at National Training Centre have taught you to exacting standards over the past 12 weeks to ensure that you can keep yourselves and others safe while carrying out your duties. However, there's no getting away from the fact that ours is a high-risk profession. And as you know, you lost one of your trainees across the duration of this course in a very unfortunate training incident. And I'm very pleased to see Jason and his wife here today, healing well, and I know that you will be back on the next course that's available to you when you're able to. Those type of incidents shouldn't be seen as just a consequence of our high-risk work. They should be seen as a mistake for us and an opportunity to learn so that we can continue to keep our people safer than they've been before. It's true, though, that where others run from danger, we respond, and that's a core aspect and value that we provide to our communities, but bear in mind that we can't provide that service if we injure ourselves through carelessness. You must always remain vigilant of the hazards involved with this profession and work with your colleagues to eliminate or minimise those risks. We, me and your families expect nothing less. The Fire Service's vision of leading integrated fire and emergency services has set the scene for us to work more closely with our rural fire colleagues and take ownership of the many and varied challenges now demanded of modern firefighters. It's no overstatement to say that you are joining the Fire Service at a momentous point in history, but your skills will be more relevant than ever from 1 July next year when we become Fire and Emergency New Zealand. What's heartening for me is the national consensus from all stakeholders that a stronger, more unified service will be better prepared to meet New Zealand's constant evolving needs when it comes to emergency response. Come what may, we'll be relying on your skills, your enthusiasm and your fresh ideas to ensure that we continue to respond when our communities need us the most. And know that the expectations on you are very high. The fact that the Fire Service has been repeatedly voted the country's most trusted public institution is not something that we ever take for granted. That reputation is a testament to the efforts of those who have gone before you. But I trust that armed with the skills that you've been taught and the camaraderie that you've developed here with your colleagues, it's a legacy that you will continue to uphold for the next generation of firefighters. In closing, I also want to congratulate you. Each one of you has been tested physically and mentally, yet you stand here today, having earned the right to call yourself a firefighter. If I look back at my own graduation, and although the uniforms are certainly a bit flasher now, the feeling that I had then is no doubt similar to what you're feeling today. You and your families should be very proud of what you've accomplished. It's now my privilege to officially welcome you to the Fire Service. I look forward to seeing all your happy faces on the station and watching you progress through the ranks as we work towards our vision of leading integrated fire and emergency services for a safer New Zealand. Kia ora, thank you.
I would now like to invite the Senior Trainer for the course, Mr Mike Thompson, to come forward for a few words.
National Commander, Mr Paul Baxter, Director of Training, Mr Wayne Mackey, NTC Manager, Mr Ian Pickard, Manager, Firefighter Development, Mr Alan Cleater, Regional Commanders, Area and Assistant Commanders, Fire Service personnel, family and friends. Tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. Greetings, greetings, greetings to you all. 12 weeks ago, 20 civilians arrived in Rotorua with their hearts and minds set on becoming career firefighters within the New Zealand Fire Service. They've come from a range of differing backgrounds, ages and demographics. In these 12 weeks, they've experienced a range of emotions including pain, exhaustion, fatigue, heat stress, relief and laughter. By experiencing these emotions, they've gelled as a team, which is one of the hallmarks of being a firefighter. These firefighters have now formed friendships which will last a lifetime and have joined a brotherhood of men and women around the world who share a love of what they do, which is protecting life and property and with the goal of making their communities safer. These firefighters over the past 12 weeks have been given the basic skills to keep themselves and their fellow firefighters safe during emergencies. But their training does not stop here. They have to keep building on the skills learned here and any new ones that they will be taught on station, so they too can maintain our high standard within the world of firefighting. My challenge to you standing here today is to never think that your training is finished. There is no such thing as the perfect firefighter. But that does not mean you cannot strive to reach perfection in everything you do in this organisation. To the partners and families, thank you. Thank you for allowing these men and women to be away for 12 weeks realising their dreams. All the household chores you've had to do, thank you. You can have a rest for a while. These guys have got some making up to do. Now, to make this course run requires dedication and a passion for what we are striving to achieve. And this sums up our team of managers, trainers, administrators and resource coordinators. Could I have the following please come forward? Program Manager Alan Cleater. Our trainers, Mr Mike Bailey, Mr Paul Shepherd, Mr Paul Glanville, Mr Carl Moon, and Mr Hayden Robinson. Could I have our resource coordinators, Mr Jerry Knight and Mr Brett Davies? And the one who puts it all together, making sure we function, is our course administrator, Jocelyn Davies. Here she comes. If I could have everybody up standing, and please give them a round of applause. Thank you, Bill. Thank you. Once again, I just want to thank you for all being here today. And I also acknowledge Jason for being here today. Awesome. And we want to see you up here sometime in the future. Thank you again. Kia ora.
We move on to the award for the most outstanding recruit. The award has a long tradition, and I ask that Mr Wayne Mackey, the Director of Training, to come forward to present this award, please. Once selected to attend this recruits course, the trainees will set a number of goals and objectives, both by themselves and from the trainers. For many, the goal is to simply pass the rigorous training whilst performing to the highest standard of which they are capable. While it is fair to say that all recruits have done their best, some recruits, through outstanding committed efforts, have displayed additional capabilities. To reflect these efforts, there is an award that is traditionally presented. This is the award for the most outstanding recruit. Being considered for this prestigious accolade requires a consistently high level of achievement and standards in both practical skills, team dynamics, and academic ability. It is also a reflection of their positive attitude and the diligent effort this individual has displayed throughout the course. It is not an award given lightly, it has to be earned. The most outstanding recruit for course 1604 goes to firefighter Jack Bridgman. Congratulations, well done. Well done, Firefighter Bridgman. The final part of the graduation is the closing of the course. At the conclusion of this, once the parade is dismissed, I ask that you remain seated while the graduates display their team spirit and camaraderie that has developed over the past 12 weeks with their haka. I'd like to invite back Mr. Paul Baxter to officially close the recruit course.
Believe me, I won't make it a long one because this Rotorua balmy weather is, I know, getting to everybody. It's all right for us cuddled up in here, but these guys are cold. I would like to now officially declare you successful graduates and this course officially closed. Well done, congratulations and welcome to the team.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter. Station Officer Bailey, please dismiss the parade.
Right, jump! And close order, right, stress! Boys, run! Recruit course 1604. Dismiss!